Okay, Giuliano Murnac de Bittencourt, kind of a mouthful, on Facebook. He wants to know what my favorite shoot 'em up soundtracks are, which is an excellent question because I'm a huge shoot 'em up fan. It's one of my favorite genres of video games, and definitely I expect them to have a good soundtrack because you want something that matches the action of a shoot 'em up. So you want something typically that's going to be high energy, really getting you into the game, and a lot of them have that, and I just have a stack here of some of my favorite shoot 'em up soundtracks. Not necessarily all of them, mind you, just some that stuck out of my mind when I read this question. First and foremost, I have to say Winds of Thunder, aka Lords of Thunder. This is actually one of my favorite soundtracks in a video game ever. Pretty much start to finish, non-stop heavy metal, really matches not only the action of a shoot 'em up, but the theme of the game, which is kind of like this fantasy monsters, and you're a knight, you're a kick-ass knight flying around blasting everything to hell. So this mystical fantasy world with this high action gameplay style and just this really intense, awesome rockin' soundtrack. Winds of Thunder, fantastic. A couple of Konami games. First on the PC Engine, Detona Twinbee. This game has a fantastic soundtrack. Really, Konami shooters and Konami games in general in the 80s and 90s had amazing soundtracks. This one really blows me away. The game itself is extremely colorful, has a very whimsical atmosphere, so the soundtrack really matches that. It's really these awesome, beautiful arrangements, and they sound amazing on the PC Engine. This is a HuCard game, mind you, not a CD game, but the soundtrack just sounds fantastic. Detona Twinbee is really great, and then also on the PC Engine, this one is on the CD. It's Gradius II. The Gradius games, again, Konami, soundtracks always fantastic. Gradius II just stands out in my mind as having one of the better ones. I do have this soundtrack on CD, and I've listened to each tune individually, and they're all amazing. So yeah, Gradius II has a fantastic soundtrack. I like it a lot. This one, kind of one of the more expensive, lesser discussed shoot 'em ups, but on the Saturn, it's Basu Gun. Now this game has an excellent soundtrack, and what's great about the Saturn version is that it comes with two versions of the soundtrack. So you can listen to the original arcade version, which is fantastic, but there's also an arranged version on here with some of the songs. It kind of takes the teeth out of them, but it really sounds amazing. This crystal clear CD quality, this upgraded, again, arranged soundtrack of the already awesome Basu Gun soundtrack. So Basu Gun definitely has a soundtrack that I really love. Here, the only one on the Super Famicom. Not a lot of great SNES shoot 'em ups out there. There are some, but you can name a lot more on the PC Engine and Mega Drive. Area 88, aka UN Squadron. I do really like the soundtrack on this game. I like the tune that plays with the intro title. I like the first stage theme is just excellent, and then that carries on throughout. Not necessarily the most high energy rockin' tracks on here. Some of them have kind of a more dramatic feel. They're very slow paced, but then the stage is slow paced, so it kind of mixes. And when the stage has you moving a bit faster, taking on a higher density of enemies, the pace picks up. So Area 88, UN Squadron, another soundtrack I like a lot. This one, and it's a lot of it has to do with one song in particular, but Zero Wing. I like the soundtrack on Zero Wing, and in particular the song that plays over the intro is just awesome. It's so iconic. It's one of my favorite songs in a video game ever, period. Zero Wing, I think collectively not the most outstanding soundtrack, but it really stands out in my mind, mostly due to that one specific song, but the rest of the soundtrack isn't that bad either. Zero Wing, check it out if you never have. And then last but not least, I figured I would go with something more recent because this game does have an amazing soundtrack, and that's Bullet Soul Infinite Burst. Now, this game has the original Bullet Soul soundtrack, which was great, but like Basu Gun, it also has an arranged soundtrack that you can listen to while you play, and this actually came bundled with the soundtrack, so that's awesome. The arranged soundtrack while the original is good, the arranged soundtrack just blows it out of the water. It's really high energy, speedy, heavy metal sounding. It's awesome. It's my favorite kind of soundtrack to play to while playing a shoot 'em up. I can't speak highly enough of the soundtrack in Bullet Soul, and in particular the arranged soundtrack in Bullet Soul Infinite Burst. Really, really excellent. If you've never tried these games out, they are region free, so definitely do look them up, or just look up some of the songs on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find them somewhere. They are fantastic. Bullet Soul Infinite Burst, amazing soundtrack. So that's it. So thank you, Giuliano Murnak de Betancourt from Facebook, for your question. I hope you like the answer. Those are just some of my favorite shoot 'em up soundtracks. Hey, in the comments, what are some of your favorite shoot 'em up soundtracks? I know I missed a lot here. There's the Thunder Force games, and there's like Gate of Thunder, and there's other Konami and Capcom shooters. Lots of stuff out there. Stuff by Taito and Toa Plan and all that good stuff. So let me know in the comments what some of your favorite shoot 'em up soundtracks are. And that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Keep giving me those questions because I love answering them. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.